Welcome back. If you've been following me for a while, you already know this channel is all about helping you make smarter financial decisions, especially when it comes to real estate and building wealth. But just in case this is your first time here, my name is Alfonso, and I've been in the financial and real estate space for over 30 years. And today, we're going to talk about something that most agents and most sellers get completely wrong: how to sell your home without dropping the price. Now, let me ask you a question. What's the first thing most people do when their home doesn't sell? They lower the price again and again and again. But what if I told you that might actually be the worst strategy you can use? Not just for you, but for your agent and even your neighborhood. So today, I'm going to show you a smarter way to sell in today's market. Let's be real for a moment. We are in a different market today. Homes are sitting longer. Buyers are more cautious. Interest rates are higher than what people got used to. And because of that, buyers are feeling pressure, sellers are getting frustrated, and agents are trying to move inventory as quickly as possible. So what happens? Price reductions. But lowering the price doesn't always solve the real problem, because most buyers are not asking whether the home is $300,000 or $310,000. That's not the real question. The real questions buyers are asking are simple. How much money do I need to bring to the table? And what is my monthly payment going to be? That's what drives decisions. So when you drop the price, you might lower the value, but you're not always solving affordability. Let's break this down. When you start slashing prices, you reduce your equity. You lower neighborhood comps. You reduce your agent's commission. And you create a perception that something might be wrong with the property. And once that happens, you lose leverage. But I learned something a long time ago in real estate, and let me share a quick story with you. I went into a neighborhood where homes were selling for around $165,000. That was the market. That was the accepted price. But instead of following the crowd, we listed that property at $175,000. And the agents told me that house would never sell. But I wasn't focused on just price. I was focused on value and terms. So here's what we did. We helped with closing costs. We bought down the interest rate by 1%. We offered a $1,000 bonus to the buyer's agent, and we added a washer and dryer. And guess what happened? We sold that property for $172,000. And the same agent came back and said they had never seen it done that way before. That's the difference between selling on price and selling on strategy. Now let's take this a step further, because if you really want to master this, you have to understand how buyers actually think. Most sellers, and even some agents, focus on total price, but buyers are focused on monthly survival. If a buyer is looking at two homes, one for $300,000 and one for $310,000, most people assume they'll choose the cheaper one. But that's not always true, because what really matters is the monthly payment. If that payment difference is only $50 or $75 a month, that's not a deal breaker. But an extra $10,000 up front, now that becomes a problem. So the real formula buyers use is this: can I afford to get in? And can I afford to stay in? If you can solve those two problems, you win. Let's make it simple. If you drop your price by $10,000, that might only reduce the monthly payment by $50 to $70. But if you take that same $10,000 and use it strategically, you can reduce upfront costs and lower the monthly payment even more effectively. That's strategy. And in a buyer's market where buyers have options and are comparing deals, your home has to stand out, not just in price, but in terms. Because the best deal doesn't always look like the lowest price. The best deal looks like the easiest path to ownership. So now, let's get practical. Here are 6 powerful ways to sell your home without lowering your price. Number 1, interest rate buy down. Instead of lowering your price, use that money to buy down the buyer's interest rate. A lower rate means a lower monthly payment, and that directly solves what buyers care about most. Number 2, closing cost assistance. Buyers struggle with upfront cash. So instead of cutting $10,000 off the price, you can cover $10,000 in closing costs. It's the same cost to you, but far more valuable to the buyer. Number 3, pay the first month's mortgage. Imagine moving into a home and not having to make that first payment right away. That kind of relief can make a huge difference emotionally and financially. Number 4, moving assistance. Moving is expensive and stressful. Offering to help cover moving costs or provide a credit can make your property stand out in a competitive market. Number 5, agent incentives. This is one that's often overlooked. When you offer a bonus to the buyer's agent, your property gets more attention, more showings, and more priority because agents bring buyers. Number 6, add value instead of dropping price. Instead of reducing your price, add something to the deal. Appliances, a home warranty, or small upgrades can make your property more attractive without hurting your bottom line, because value always feels better than a discount. Let me ask you something. If you were buying a home today, would you rather pay a lower price but bring more cash up front, or pay a slightly higher price and get help with closing costs and a lower monthly payment? Most people are choosing the second option. So here's the takeaway. If your home isn't selling, it's not always a pricing problem. It's a strategy problem. Because in today's market, the winners are not the cheapest homes. They're the smartest deals. And if you understand what buyers really want, lower upfront costs and lower monthly payments, you can sell faster without giving your property away. If this helped you, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this with someone who's trying to sell their home right now. Because they don't need to drop the price, they just need a better strategy. And I'll see you in the next one. Remember to like and subscribe for more Money Smart Basics videos. If you have any suggestions for financial literacy topics, please leave a comment. The information provided in this content is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be considered financial, legal, or tax advice. Always consult with a qualified financial advisor, tax professional, or legal counsel before making any financial decisions. The creator of this content is not responsible for any actions taken based on the information provided. Investments and financial decisions carry risk, and past performance does not guarantee future results.